Hey y'all, follow the instructions that God has already given you. So I'm coming from Numbers, the 14th, no, the 13th chapter, where God was telling, gave the instructions and told Moses to send out men to explore the land of Canaan, the land I am giving the Israelites. And he told Moses to send one leader from each of the 12 ancestral tribes. And when they went out and came back, they gave a report, and some felt that they could take the people down, these giants. They saw good things, but then, some felt like they couldn't do it. Fear was just kicking in. So when they start spreading the bad report about the land, the people start rebelling, and they start in verse 14. It say, then the whole community began weeping aloud, and they cried out all night. Their voices rose in a great chorus of protest against Moses and Aaron. If only we had died in Egypt, or even here in the wilderness. They complained, why is the Lord taking us to this country only to have us die in battle? Our wives and our little ones will be carried off as plunder. Wouldn't it be better for us to return to Egypt? Then they plotted among themselves, let's choose a new leader and go back to Egypt. And that was starting in the 14th chapter of Numbers, when the people rebelled. God said, follow the instructions that I have already given you. And sometimes you will have people that will give you their advice, but God have already given you the instructions. And that doesn't mean that people, is coming off as, I think this is best for you. No. It's just some people that feel like, they have the best interest or concern. Let's put it like that. But them not knowing that God has already given you the instructions on what to do. Then some people, they're just, well, I think you should do it this way. I think. But you still got to do what God has already instructed you to do. And back here, I had talked about how I was just moving from one place to another place. And before I came on this platform, I started in my home. And then it was just familiar faces. But then God started telling me to move to the internet. And I started a platform on Facebook. But then it got to the point where I heard God start telling me that it was time for me to move. Because, remember when Jesus was going out to the different lands, and remember in his own hometown, it says that Jesus was not even accepted. So when Jesus gave the instructions to tell the disciples to go to the different many cities, he told them that when you're not accepted, to dust your feet off. And God had told me that you would not be accepted. So over there, he told me to dust my feet off. Yeah. But I left there. So back here the other week, since then I have left. I have really had people to to let me know I've been listening to this. And then I had someone to ask me, what happened? Like, you don't do your messages? And I told them, yes, I do them, but I'm over on TikTok. Like, come on over here. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go and share some of my videos and post them on on Facebook. So when I did a video, I tried to post it. I did. And guess what? It wouldn't let me. I could not post my messages over there. But then God reminded me that follow the instructions that I have already given you. And that's why I say, even with them saying that, I know that they were saying it not to try to take over but they were saying it because they was letting me know they enjoyed the message. But God had already given me the instructions that it's not going to be accepted in your own hometown. So I had to listen to God, because he had already told me why he was moving me. He already told me where I needed to go. And they didn't know that, but I knew it. And once I tried to go back and post the message, it wouldn't let me. Follow the instructions that God has already given you. God have already given you the instructions. He have already told you where to go. He have already told you don't go that way. He have already told you that it's time for you to lay down some ways. But then somebody will come around and try to invite you back into them ways. God said, I have already given you the instructions. You have walked away from people. And somebody is coming back telling you how you missing out on things. You missing out on this and missing out on that. But God said, I have already given you the instructions. And the instruction was, it was time for you to walk away from places. It was time for you to walk away from people. It was time for you to walk away from bad habits. Y'all, I just did a message like this. God said, follow the instructions that I have already given you. Regardless of how good it might sound. Regardless of how, people might make you feel like you missing out on something. But God said, follow my instructions that I have already given you. So, don't go back. Whatever it is that God have given you the instructions, removing yourself from things, laying down bad habits, not returning to places, not returning to things that he have delivered you from, don't go back. God said he have already given you the instructions. Be obedient. Bye, y'all.